Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and we are back. And we are going to start off on fire because Stephanie sent me something through Facebook, bringing my attention to a bunch of crying narcissistic baby boomers knowing the jig is up. And what this is called Gransnet forums. From reading through it, it's obviously over in the UK, but these baby boomers know they're caught. They know what's up. And this should be very heartening to us because it proves our generation, Generation X, and even the millennials are waking up to these toxic, narcissistic terminators. And we're going to read through this. And the beautiful part about this in their complaints, they project everything back onto us and basically admit to every one of their own tactics and then cry about it. So, this is Gransnet forums, the brainwashing behind going no contact. Boom, right there. And the funny thing, this thread goes on for a full year. This started back in March of 17, and it's still being posted on as of April of this year. Still being posted on. So the original poster was this Nanal 1959 baby boomer scumbag. I hope it's okay to post this here. I'm sure Gransnet will move it if it's not, but in view of all those estranged, cut-off parents unable to understand why their adult children, now, and that is important to know that these are baby boomers, because it's adult children here. This is Gransnet. Treat them like the way they do. This very well-written post sums it up perfectly. It was sent to me this morning, obviously. Some adult children have no choice but to keep their distance from abusive parents. We understand this. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for giving some of us the right to leave. But this no-contact approach being liberally recommended is highly destructive trend, ruining many lives, says who? Ruining the narcissistic tactics. It's saving one life at a time for sure, our own. I am in the position that my estranged daughter is treating me like I am toxic when I feel it's the other way around, right off with the projection. So I'm not toxic, she's toxic. And they got it right there, toxic. They got the word right off the bat. It's toxicity. That's why I keep repeating it. Toxic, toxic, toxic. They hate the word because there's no way around toxic. Toxic is poison. Toxic is long lasting. Toxic will kill you. We've been studying this for a while now. Why are there so many adult children cutting off their families? Because we are realizing that we have a whole generation, by and large, the large percentage of you are narcissistic, toxic scumbags. That's why. That's why. And because of channels like mine and others, and being able to put a verbiage and put a language behind it and be able to describe what gaslighting is and toxicity is and what flying monkeys are and how the whole system works. Being able to do that is driving them insane. That's why there's so many children. That's why there's so many cutoffs now. That's why there's so many people going no contact. Because the jig is up. The jig is up. Because of channels like this where we talk about this and we validate each other and we know our stories aren't in a vacuum like we're the only ones who ever went through this. Like, holy shit, the same thing happened to me too. Same thing happened to me too. Me too. I thought I was the only one. I thought my parents were some kind of master manipulators that nobody could see through. Oh my God! I thought they was like these. No, they're not even special. These are the things that we came up with. Something interesting. We've all noticed how our estranged children all do the same mean stuff and say the same mean things. Like, tell me I'm being like calling me on all my abusive bullshit. They're so mean. They're just so mean to tell me what I did wrong and how I abused them and continue to abuse them. So mean. So mean. I hope you guys are liking the picture-in-picture thing. I'm getting a kick out of it, actually. It's like they're reading a script or they all joined the same cult. Cult. Script. See, they always want to dissuade from what they know is working. That's Art of War 101. You attack their strength. You attack what's protecting them. You make them think what's protecting them is what's hurting them, and they will walk away. You label this as a cult. Well, if a cult is telling people to cut off the toxicity in your life and don't look back, well, then this is a fucking cult. Okay, we might as well just start chanting to old Ali now. Remember, the only real advice that I have stuck to over and over and over and over again on all of these channels, on all of these videos, is nothing will change until you cut out the toxin. Period. That's it. That's it. The rest of this is just validating our own stories to know we're not alone. To know somebody understands where we're coming from. To know somebody understands what we're feeling for each other. The frustration from the years and years and decades of gaslighting. And it continues. Right as the narcissistic baby boomer goes on the internet and continues to gaslight. And in so doing, admits to every tactic they've been doing by showing how they're projecting it right back on us. I have news for you. Oh, do you? See, and this is where they preach. See, they can never stop with their preachy bullshit. They're acting like they're victims at the same time trying to hold and wield all the power. I have news for you. Fuck off. We don't want it. We don't want your news, and that's what's driving you fucking insane. That's what's making them start these fucking forums on here and Facebook where they're crying that they've been cut off by their adult children who don't want to take their narcissistic bullshit any longer. They're all reading a script. They did join the same cult. What are you doing? What they are doing is called going no contact. It's literally a scripted plan that they follow. Do you see? Yeah, a scripted plan. Do you understand? A scripted plan that they follow, just cutting you out, is a scripted plan that you... Do you see how they assign so much deceit and so much bad doing to the simple act of just, I'm going no contact? Oh, it's this elaborate scheme. No, here's my elaborate scheme. Fuck you. There's my elaborate scheme. There it is. Ooh, took us 3 years to come up with that one. We're still working on this. Okay, we haven't nailed this one yet. We're getting it though. We're getting it though. We're bringing in somebody from Europe. You know, they're experts on this. It starts when they judge us, not just as humans with whom they disagree, but evil because we don't see things their way. No, we see you as evil because you're fucking evil. Because you're deceitful. Because you're calculating. Because there's never a true statement that doesn't come out, there's never a true statement coming out of your mouth. If you come out and say the sky's blue, we got to go out and double check that you're not lying about it. That's how easily they lie. That's with the amount of rapidity that they can lie. Like that. They are evil. And they know they're evil. They know they're evil. They don't want to be judged. They judge us. Well, who are they to judge us? We judge you. That's not how these rules work. Don't you know that? Don't you know that Generation X? Don't you know that millennials? It's the baby boomers who do all the judging. It's the baby boomers who look down their nose at you. It's the baby boomers who decide who's toxic and who's not. And the rules that apply to them don't apply to you. And they never, ever, ever, ever will. They complain online and meet other complaining children who honestly believe, thanks to the self-esteem movement, that anytime they were uncomfortable for a moment equals abuse. Wow. You know, in the near 1,400 videos I've done for people, okay, I can think of 2-3 examples where somebody might have been overplaying a certain part of a story here. Okay, nobody has fucking come to me who said my daddy didn't buy me a fucking pony. My daddy bought me the wrong color fucking Corvette. My mommy and daddy didn't buy me a fucking house. We're talking about physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, being fucking pimped out to family and friends and having it covered up for years and decades and continuing to this fucking day. And these narcissistic sociopaths will make it sound like we got people coming here complaining because they didn't get a fucking cookie. No shame of these people. None. I've been telling you, this has been the problem in society with narcissism. This generation was set up to run amok and take the rest of us down. And they are going to continue to do this until they are gone. You know, as humans, we usually regress back into child as you get into become a senior citizen and you become more infirmed. These fucking people never move past fucking 12th, never move past, I'd say, 10th grade. And now they're at a point where they're completely regressing back. Remember the grandmothers at the Stoneman Douglas dressing like high school girls, barefoot on the damn floor. They're not going away. We're becoming wise and cutting them out. And they don't like it. That's why it's so important for them to control our fucking children. That's why it's so important to go no contact, because they know it. If they can't get to you, they can't put their bullshit on you. And it's driving them insane. Because it's so simple. Cut them the fuck out and they can't do anything but complain on the internet. We have the power on the internet. They don't. Because we have what's right and we have the truth. And they know it. And they're going to sit here and act like people are coming on these programs complaining because they didn't get a fucking cookie. The horror stories that I've done on this channel of physical, sexual, emotional abuse over decades and years, and some of them are just, you can't even get through them. But that's the baby boomer for you. They've done it all better than you. They did it all. You don't know. We know this. It never ends with them. Never ends. But we are wise. We are becoming wise because they got our terminology down. They know we know about them. They know the jig is up. And they don't like it. Not one bit. If their parents disagreed with them or made them do something that they didn't like, or whacked their fresh asses when they talked back, or refused to follow rules, they add this to their pile of justification. Lacking coping skills, they believe that any time they are not happy, they have been wronged, and the person who dared to make them feel bad is a narcissist. Let me ask you something, baby boomer jerk off. Why did your children lack coping skills, huh? No response. That doesn't fall on your head, right? They never ever see, and this is where it gets hilarious, because this is what I'm talking about. All this projection is so they don't have to look in the mirror at themselves. Meanwhile, in their fucking complaints, they tell you what a fucking shitty fucking parent they are. Hey, asshole, you raised us. Why don't I have fucking coping skills, you stupid fuck? Oh, gee, what you're considering a whack on our fresh asses is beating the fucking brakes off of us. Gee, I don't know why I don't have any fucking coping skills, stupid. Stupid. They know they're narcissists. They're saying the word. They have our terminology down. And that's fine, because they're powerless with it, other than to lick their own wounds in some corner of the internet. Meanwhile, they're the ones complaining because they've been cut out. Finally, they're getting a taste. But they ain't going to go away. But you can't be dissuaded by this. You got to see it for what this is. Pathetic. A narcissist to them is what possessed meant to our parents. That's very telling, isn't it? Isn't it? What they think of their parents. Because remember how this generation started out in their youth. The countercultural diving in the mud, burning draft cards, calling soldiers baby killers. So possessed on their parents and narcissist us. Do you see how they alienated? They're basically admitting they alienated their own they turned on their own parents, they turned on their own children, and now they're after our grandchildren. Oh, it was just, remember how bad our parents were. They call us possessed. Narcissist is the new possessed. Well, kind of is. Kind of is. It's kind of hard to control a whole generation of sociopaths. The narcissist is pure evil and a force to be feared and hated. They all bolster one another's justification of their interpretation of who we are. Who we are. Seems like you're kind of admitting that you guys are a narcissistic group force of, you don't decide who we are, we decide who we are. Nah. We're taking that back. We decide now. We decide what you are. We decide. You don't get to decide. You don't get a choice. Just like we never got a choice over 4 decades, 5 decades. No more choice for you. Too sad, so sad. Bye-bye. 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 Get in the coffin. They swap war stories that are positively ridiculous. Do you see the gaslight, the open gaslighting? Such as stories of the evil narcissistic mother-in-law who wore a different dress than agreed upon to the wedding. Or the evil narcissistic mother who took away all their toys until their chores were done. I've seen both of those in these groups. There we are. You're not going to tell me what to wear to your wedding. There we go. Running over, just admittingly, I get to fucking set the rules at your wedding. And then complain about it. Are you... This is the gift that keeps on giving. This isn't one... I mean, I'm pretty sure this woman has looked at my channel. Must have. Or took away all their toys till their chores were done. You know what, bitch? I'm calling. You show me where that video, and I know I never done one. You show me where somebody did a video or made a comment that on a narcissism that my mother used to take away my toys till the chores were done on a narcissism video. I call bullshit. Bullshit, you made that one up. Absolutely, the first one is whoever wrote this that happened to. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would venture to guess that the taking away of the toys till the chores were done was something that happened to the narcissist that they don't like in their life, and now they're projecting that onto everyone. Oh, well, that must be what... Nah, stupid. Nah, stupid. They know, though. They know the jig is up. They know the jig is up, and they don't like it. After justifying themselves, and that's really what they can't, and that's the other part. The justification. They don't like the validation. They don't like us talking to each other to find out, oh shit, they're getting validated. And then they got to realize, oh shit, I'm not even as smart as I thought I am. There's a whole generation that do the exact same thing. I'm not even fucking special. I'm not even this master evil manipulator that I thought I was. There's if everybody does what you're not even special. Jig is up. They begin plans to go no contact. It's a systematic plan to discard the parent, grandparent, and turn the kids against the grandparents. There are actual steps to this plan. They vary from group to group. They are essentially all similar. The group talks a lot about setting boundaries. Oh no, not boundaries. Not for the narcissist. Not for the narcissistic baby boomer. A boundary? How dare you? But what they call setting boundaries is just rude dictating and setting their targets up to fail. Stuff like, I told my mother she can come over between 12 and 1 on Sundays only. If she is 1 minute early or stays 1 minute late, that will be the end of her visits. Part of the plan is not to tell mother what she did wrong, just to enact the consequence. Because you know what you did wrong, stupid. We're not playing your game. And this is what they're telling you. They don't want boundaries. They want to be able to show up at your house on their time when they want, for however long they want, at any time. And they don't want to be told anything. And what they don't like when you don't fight back, you just cut it off, that's the don't argue with it. Don't reason with it. Because it can't argue. You can't argue with it. You can't reason with it. It's a machine. It's only after what it wants. And that's what's driving them nuts. Not only are they setting boundaries and kicking me out, they won't engage the fight with me, which has been working on them for decades. Oh, what's the problem? They found these narcissism support groups that showed them the way. That showed them the way, because they never had coping skills anyway. Don't know why. Not my fault they didn't have coping skills. You see it? Do you see it? They know that the targeted parent will try to rectify the situation. They react in a way that is illogical, refusing to answer questions, insisting that any apology is a manipulative lie and therefore insincere, ordering the parent out of their house, putting parents in that timeout thing where they tell us not to contact them for a certain length of time, and then they will review our request. Rules, boundaries, they don't like it. They don't like it. And they really don't like it when you don't engage their fight. Do you see how when you don't engage it, it drives them insane? They can't beat you. They can't win. All they can do is go on the internet and complain about it. They post joyful stories of their parents' reaction to losing grandkids or their parents' pleas for an explanation. Bullshit. Because that's what you would do. I have yet to receive a story of somebody getting satisfaction out of pulling the grandchildren away from the parents. Of ha ha ha, I watched them, and it hasn't happened once, and I've done over 1,400 videos. This is what I'm talking about. They just make shit up. Sounds good. If you don't know, if you're telling somebody from the outside, sounds good. Not true. You ever seen that? Any of you ever seen that? I mean, I'm sure you can find an example somewhere, maybe 1, 2 here or there. There's always a random asshole, I guess. I haven't seen it, though. And it sure is shit. It ain't the norm, and it'd be far, far from it. They cheer each other on and congratulate one another for cutting family off. Refusing to give any explanation is part of the plan. They call it taking your power back. Power, huh? They claim it's to protect themselves from the evil narcissists who are terrorizing them, but in reality, it's not about protection or healing. It's about power, control, and just being shitty. They don't know the difference between assertive and aggressive, and they think being arbitrary is the same as having boundaries. That's nothing. Nothing words. Nothing. They don't know the assertive and aggressive. You know, so it's nuanced. Only they know. You're not smart enough to know the difference between assertive and aggressive. Only I, baby boomer jagoff, would know that. And then they wonder why they're cut out. You wonder. You spout this arrogant bullshit and then cry why you're no respect for boundaries, and then cry that you're cut out. Google going no contact. You will find pages and pages of groups and instructions that will not surprisingly match exactly what our kids are doing. I think this information could be very helpful. We can learn what they want us to do so we can do the opposite. I strongly urge every single person here to read up on going no contact. It's like a map to navigate this territory. It even gets amusing sometimes reading the steps and thinking you're such a lemming. Who the hell would follow this crap? They would. That's who. You're such a lemming. These are our parents. Tell you exactly what they think of you, huh? Who the hell would follow this crap? We would. Because the jig is up and they know it. In this whole explanation and cry, all this person did was prove why they should be cut out. And all they did was prove why they were such bad parents, why they were such toxic, abusive narcissists. They would, that's who. Because that's always who they've been, with no coping skills. You raised us. Not their fault. So this now goes on for another 565 posts for the next year. You know, the effects of families diagnosing each other, then the online armchair experts all happy to insist they go no contact. It's really hurting a lot of people. Yeah, the baby boomer narcissist, it's hurting. This is awful. The internet can be wonderful. It's terrifying. It's also recommended to cut off flying monkeys who are relatives that may pass messages between family members, either unknowingly or with malice, thus breaking no contact, which must be maintained at all costs. They have our terminology. They know the jig is up. And what this means is, if this thread can go on for a year, for 565 posts, and you can even have Facebook groups where they're just crying about narcissism, crying about us. Take heart, everybody, because it tells me they know it's over. They know the jig is up. And it tells me channels like this are important, and they're working, and it's getting the word out. And us as a Generation X, we are taking the power back from them. Everybody, I think, is waking up to this generation. Everybody's realizing finally, as they just take and take and take and take. Like, enough of this. Enough of this generation. Time to cut them out. Time to keep them out. Not every baby boomer. I'm not saying everyone, but most of them. So, let me know what you think in the comments section, everybody. And if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to go over. I gotta do something about the pop-ups. You have a topic you'd like me to discuss, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat. Or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help but can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general. Because we are moving at the end of the month, and we could always use the help. We're moving, getting out of here, going to be expanding, want to keep the channel growing and moving. So you guys know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.